Optimum Park 2, iron bias at 3F2, recovery speed 4, gain is at 18, multi-frequency. Getting some side tones there. I'm in 5 tone. I had it in 50 tone and it was just super jumpy tone. Super jumpy tone here. Yeah. See, accidents happen when you're detecting, right? Metal detectors don't last forever. Once you start metal detecting for a little bit longer, you know, a few years, you'll realize that no detector is going to last forever, right? So they break, you know. Accidents happen. They fall from things. You know, you step under coil every once in a while, snap an ear off. Deus is in hot program, 54 kilohertz. Sounds like an overload to me. Sounds like aluminum, right? Let's give me that aluminum tone. Some cancel off. Yep, right there. Some cancel off. Aluminum tone on the Deus, man. Didn't need my pinpointer. Look at that. See, look at how much iron is around there too, and it still give me an overload. There's a big can right down there. I think there's a can down there. It sounds like aluminum. Sounds big. But I'll go over this aluminum right on the surface right here. Right. Aluminum. Womp, 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 womp. It's not a beep, 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 beep. It's a womp, womp, womp. It's aluminum, man. Listen to it. Overload. Overload. Right? I'll swing over those 2 targets with the Equinox now. Solid 8. Solid 8, right? Rings read up 8.2. And rings sound just like cancel off. With the Deus, those rings give me a high tone. Even if they're gold, those rings give me a high tone in 54 kilohertz. And this cancel off with the Deus gives me that same aluminum tone, the junk tone, right? Right on the surface. Super easy. Now let's go over, and with the Equinox, it struggles with that aluminum because it sounds like a ring, right? It's giving you a solid tone. I want there to be a lot of information in that tone that it's giving me, because I don't want to have to look at my detector, right? I don't want to have to look at my detector, because when I'm looking at my detector, I'm not swinging. I want to just continue swinging and reject that stuff as I go, right? And that target right there, I would have skipped that target up with the Deus because it's junk. It's a junk tone, right? Now where's that? This is a deep target. I think it's going to be some deep cancel off. Oh, it's going to be deep, deep, man. I don't have my shovel with me, so. Oh, it's hard down there, too. That sucker is deep, man. But I'm still gonna go easy with it because it could be something freaking awesome, man. I just found some really cool jewelry in my backyard here on another test that I was doing with the Deus and the Equinox. Right there. I'm getting to it. Getting closer. Right, I should have brought my shovel out here. I didn't really know I was going to be digging up some deep junk here. Oh, some cancel down there. I think it's cancel. I hope it's cancel. I hope that just didn't break a killer relic. Oh boy, it is deep. Just like I thought. With the Deus, it was telling me that it was deep junk, right? Give me that aluminum tone. But I do still dig those up, man. Once in a while I'll dig up those junky tones, right? And I do get surprised once in a while too, so. I'm right to it. Right in there. Oh, it's deep, man. I don't see it coming out, so it's gonna be something big, that's for sure. Foil right there. It's aluminum. Canslaw, just like I thought it was gonna be. It's a big piece of Canslaw down there. The Deus was telling me that it was junk, a big piece of junk. If I can get it out of here, right there. Big piece of junk, right? Let's go back to the far section there where the big iron's at. Just test it in the big iron. Put the Deus down for a second. See how it's pulsing? Actually, that one sounds pretty good, to tell you the truth. There's a lot of big iron back here, so this could be some big iron. Nope. It's something good. Probably pull tab. It could be jewelry too, though, man. You never know. It's a ring pull. It's in here. Whatever it is. It's some Canslaw. It's a little teeny bit of Canslaw right there. Right? So it's harder to tell how big that target is with the Equinox. With the Deus, it tells me that it's big Canslaw, right? It gives me an overload response, and I can adjust that overload response so it gives me even more information on how big that target is. I can adjust my overload response, and I can adjust my audio response to know how big that target is and how deep that target is. Now I'll go over some big iron back here. I'll let you listen, right? That's big iron, right? Overload. Big iron right here, right? Big iron. Big iron right here, see? Overload, major overload right there. Coin right there on top of big iron, right? I can tell with the Deus that there's big iron down there because it's giving me an overload response, right? With the Equinox, I don't know when the machine is being overloaded, right? Or it's not nearly as evident. I can kind of tell a little bit that the Equinox is being overloaded. See, right there. See, it's being overloaded right now. I can turn my gain down here a little bit too. See how it's jumping around? I'm getting a lot of those high chirps to it. Sounds junky, man. See? It's giving the same tone as that right there, right? As that big iron. I'll go into 50 tone here. See if that helps a little bit. Go into 50 tone. Major overload, right? I can tell that it's being overloaded in 50 tone. That's why I prefer 50 tone. I had this in 5 tone just to show you on the deeper targets, but in 50 tone you can tell when it's being overloaded. It's hard to pinpoint that target. That's major overload, right? In 5 tone, you can't tell that your machine's being overloaded, right? Now I'll take this. This might be junk. It kind of sounds like junk. Nope, it's not junk. It's right on the surface. It's a penny, a wasted penny right on the surface. Look at that. Crazy, man. I'm still finding coins in my yard. Crazy. And I got another target back here too. I think there's another target back here somewhere. That sounds pretty clean. It's in the pile of leaves that I just pushed up there. I'll go over it with the Equinox and I'll just see what it sounds like. See? 50 tone, man. 50 tone is the way to go. Oh, there's ants all over me. See, it's pulsing on all the iron down there. It's jumpy, super jumpy tones here, right? It sounds like junk on the Equinox. It kind of sounds junky on the Deus too. It's some cancel right there. Right there. It's actually, yeah, some cancel. And there's ants back here, so I probably need to end this video because I'm going to be getting bit up by ants here. But I want a detector that's, I'm going to be able to tell that I'm overloading on something. Or I want to be able to identify that target there. And with the Equinox, the tones just aren't there, right? You don't get a lot of information from your tones with the Equinox. You just get a simple, bland tone, right? Deep targets sound very similar to the shallow targets. Sure, it matters on your swing speed because you can slow your swing speed down and tell how big that target is. But I want to be able to distinguish those large targets from those small targets. And with the Equinox, I just struggle. I struggle digging up those big pieces of deep iron because they sound like nickels, or they'll sound, the nails will sound like a penny, right? And with the Deus, the main thing with the Deus is I can tell how deep that target is, right? And then I'll slow my swing down and see how big that target is. You know, get some information out of my swing speed there. And I do this all in a split second, right? I make it look easy when I'm digging these targets up really fast, but I'm getting a lot of information from my metal detector when I'm digging. It's hard to explain why the Equinox is struggling on these. I've really adjusted a lot of stuff on the Equinox, but I just can't get it to not false on the iron. You know, in my hot soil here, I don't know if it's my hot soil or if I have a faulty Equinox, but I've just struggled a lot with the Equinox. But I know, you know, in the test garden, the Equinox performs very well, better than most detectors. But once I get out in the field and I get it in the real environment, it's a whole different story, man. The Equinox is a super banging machine. I love the Equinox. Don't get me wrong with this video, but I've just struggled around the big iron. Once I get to a spot that has big iron in it, the Equinox just kicks my ass, man. It's just hard to adjust. It's hard to know what your iron bias is doing. You know, the iron bias is a little bit tougher to manage. You know, which iron bias should I be in? Which setting should I be in? You know, what number of iron bias should I have on? And your recovery speed, you know, the recovery speed is pretty simple. I mean, I really don't boost my recovery speed up too high. In my hot soil here, I have to go in 5, pretty much at 5, because my soil's so hot here. It performs a lot better, even in my test garden, with the sensitivity at 5. You know, at 2, I get a lot of big targets. You know, the small targets, the coins, whatnot, sound really big. And I don't really want to go for really big targets, right? I'm not into that, digging big iron out. Well, there we go. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.